wanted to take this opportunity, one, to acknowledge you, to check on you, and to make sure everybody is good. 1619 to 2019, 400-year history of a lot of trauma and irreparable damage that happened to communities of color, not just in the U.S., but in the Caribbean and around the world. And this election is so critical and important for many reasons. See, we were promised things in each era that our ancestors were in this country for. As a matter of fact, if you look at the promise of 40 acres and a mule, 40 acres of land was promised that was never given. And a mule, an animal that can't even reproduce, was promised but not given to our communities. Then fast forward to the Jim Crow era, even post-slavery, post-Civil War. And our communities, even though we fought, we died, and we lost so much, we're still not afforded the opportunity because Jim Crow laws were entered in and mass incarceration in so many areas began to transform fundamentally the outlook of our communities and the ability for us to raise and build families and wealth. Case in point, Black Wall Street, Auburn Avenue, most areas, Rosewood. Look around and look at your history. Why am I saying all this? Because in our lifetimes, we have begun to experience racial injustice and inequities that have not been seen for a long time. Matter of fact, Will Smith even said it like this. He said, racism hasn't gotten worse, it's just being filmed. From the civil rights movement in the United States to where we are now, we have experienced and endured so much. And my plea, my hope, my prayer, and my everything of this election cycle is that you will be motivated not just because of who occupies the White House. You can't just vote because Donald Trump is on the ballot. You can't just vote because this is an opportunity for us to have a woman of African and Caribbean descent in the White House. You can't just vote because of that. You've got to vote because of what's here and what's here. What's in your heart and what's in your head, what you feel and what you know. And I want to share that with you today because there's so many people that really don't care to vote. There's so many people that are saying my vote doesn't matter. What's going to be different if we just switch out that president? And you're right. You're right to feel that. You're right to ask that. You're right to expect better. You deserve better. I deserve better. Our communities deserve better. But there is something that says either you're at the table or you're on the menu. And our communities have been on the menu for too long. We're on the menu when it comes to mass incarceration. We're on the menu when it comes to environmental injustices. We're on the menu when it comes to health effects. You don't believe me? Just look at COVID-19 and why our communities are impacted more because of pre-existing conditions. So I'm here not to beg you, but to plead with you and to ask you sincerely to register to vote. And when you register, be active. And then after you vote, encourage your neighbors to vote. Encourage your friends to vote. Encourage your community to vote. Look around where you live, and whatever it is you see that's out of place, make it your responsibility to be a part of the solution and not the problem. If you have brothers or sisters, aunts, uncles, grandparents, mothers or fathers, do it for them. Do it for those who are not here anymore. My whole focus and my belief and my intent is not just for my children. It's not just for my family. It's for you. It's for everyone around this world and in this country that have been underheard, underrepresented, and quite frankly have been left out of every conversation that's meaningful to our democracy, but also to our for and to our right to exist as a people. Take it for what you will. This is not just a fight for yourself. It's a fight for our future. So I want to thank you guys so much for the role you'll play, for the part you'll play. This was totally unscripted, but it came from my heart, and it came from me knowing that 10 years from now, 30 years from now, 50 years from now, we will look back on this period as either the darkness of the tomb or the darkness of the womb. Either it'll be the end for the democracy that we live in as we know it, or it'll be a new beginning that will take us into a future that can be prosperous and have opportunities for all of us and not a select few. Thank you all. God bless you. And don't forget to vote. Your vote matters.